Hello and welcome to a Vector Tuts Quick Tip screencast. My name is Cheryl Graham. Today I'm going to do a quick overview of the Symbols panel and the tools that are used to work with them, which are known as the symbolism tools. Symbols can be great for artwork like this, where you have a lot of repeating elements that you want to appear in a random fashion, such as snowflakes or stars. To make a symbol, you just drag your artwork into the Symbols panel. I've made a little tuft of grass. Here it is magnified. And when I drag it on the panel, the Symbol Options box pops up. You can give your symbol a name here, but all the other stuff doesn't really matter because it's used for Flash. So you can just ignore all of that and click OK. Now the new symbol appears in the panel, and the artwork used to create it is turned into a symbol as well, and this is indicated with this large plus sign over top the artwork. Now that the symbol is stored in the panel, you can just delete the original or move it out of the way. Now we'll grab the Symbol Sprayer tool and click and drag to spray out a few symbols. The behavior of the symbol sprayer is determined by its options, which can be accessed by double-clicking on the tool. The intensity has to do with how many instances of the symbol are in each set, and the density determines how close to one another they are, and you can see that that actually updates on the fly as I move the slider. Now that I've increased the intensity, you can see the change when I spray out some more symbols. I have just 2 symbol sets, and you can see those better in outline mode. Each set has multiple symbol instances in it, which are linked back to the symbol in the panel. Since we're not actually adding the original art multiple times, but linking to it in the Symbols panel, this saves time and greatly reduces the file size. Now let's look at the symbolism tools. The engineers at Adobe had some fun and gave them all names that start with an S. I'll go through them one by one. First up is the Symbol Shifter tool, and as you would expect, it shifts the position of each symbol instance within the set. Next is the Symbol Scruncher, which affects the density of the symbols in the set. You'll find that most of these tools can be made to do the opposite thing by holding down the Option key, or the Alt key on Windows. And if you double-click to bring up the tool options, you'll get tips for each tool. Now on to the Symbol Sizer, which predictably changes the size of each instance. If I hold down the mouse button over one symbol, I can make it larger, and again with the Option key to make it smaller. Next on the list is the Symbol Spinner, which rotates each symbol, and you get a little ghost arrow to let you know in which direction it's spinning. The Symbol Stainer comes next, and this is a neat one, and it can be useful for randomizing the color of your symbols. Based on the swatch that is currently active, the stainer will recolor each symbol while maintaining its overall value. The Symbol Screener tool affects the opacity of the symbol, making it transparent, and if I hold down the mouse button, the opacity decreases. In other words, the transparency increases. Lastly, the Symbol Styler tool will apply a graphic style to the symbols. So first choose a style from the Graphic Styles panel, and I've got this green scribble one selected. And now when I drag over the symbols, that style is applied. So here's my field of grass that I've randomized with some of the symbolism tools. I'm going to add some more elements and use one of the symbol libraries that comes with Illustrator. There are quite a few, as you can see by the size of the drop-down menu, and I'm going to choose the flowers. When you select a new library, it opens in its own panel, but when you click on one of the symbols, it's added to the main panel. I'll add some flowers, and notice that if you spray out a set, then deselect it, you can create a separate set rather than adding to the existing one. Let's suppose I change my mind and instead of irises I want sunflowers. I can just hold down the Option or Alt key while dragging the sunflower symbol on top of the iris, and all the instances of that symbol change. And now I think these flowers should be larger relative to everything else. So I can edit the symbol by clicking in the control panel, and I'll get this message warning me that all the sunflower symbols in my document will update, and that's what I want, so I'll click OK, and now the symbol is in isolation mode. And you can tell that it's in isolation mode because everything else is grayed out, and you get this gray bar at the top of your workspace. So now I'll just make my changes, and then to exit isolation mode, you can click the arrow in the gray bar, or just press the Escape key, and when I do that, all of the sunflowers update instantly. I showed you earlier how you could replace one symbol with another by option dragging the new one onto an existing one, and you can also just use this Replace item in the control bar, which has a drop-down menu of all the symbols in your panel, and you can just choose one to use as a replacement. You can also redefine a symbol by selecting some artwork, and this is just a plain vector object, not a symbol, then selecting a symbol in the panel, then going to the flyout menu on the Symbols panel and choose Redefine Symbol. So that does two things at once. It makes a new symbol and updates an existing one. You can quickly create a complex illustration using just a few symbols. As always, experiment and have fun.